Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about some stuff that's in the news. Just a few articles and stuff that we thought were interesting and noteworthy. So to start it off, we're going to talk about Ben Shapiro and Adam Carolla testified in front of Congress today. And let's see. So yeah, they members of Congress pretty much invited these two guys and some other people because they have insight on.
Before you go into that, tell them who they are.
Oh well, yeah, okay. Adam Carolla is a comedian. Ben Shapiro is a writer for the Daily Wire. He has like his own internet show and everything.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
Ben Shapiro Show. And yeah, so they were summoned to Congress because Ben Shapiro speaks at a lot of campuses about this kind of stuff, about campus culture and stuff like that, and free speech. And I don't know why they invited Adam Carolla, really, because I guess he...
Probably just a level head.
I don't. Yeah, he
might. Because Ben Shapiro's.
I guess he knows his shit.
On the point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's I don't know. Maybe just more of an opinion kind of person, not like a facts kind of person like Ben.
Yeah. So let's go into the just college campuses.
Yeah, so they were summoned because the Congress has questions about the riots that happened in Berkeley, in California, UC Berkeley. Hold on a sec.
So, the protests that were going on.
Oh, okay. So it says Carolla was invited because he made a documentary about political correctness on college campuses.
Okay, awesome. I wonder
that makes sense.
So what do you think? I don't know his exact view on college campuses or obviously political correctness on college campuses, but hopefully he gave
he did. I saw his opening argument. It was pretty good. He does not. I mean, he's not a fan of PC culture and stuff, especially on campuses. So he thinks that something should be done to make sure that campuses are following the.
What do you think should be done?
Well, I am someone who's kind of more for government intervention when it comes to this kind of stuff, when people's free speech is being infringed, like Ben Shapiro or any other person that would like to speak at these campuses, when they get, there's stuff shut down, there's, speeches and stuff, or talks shut down. I would like to see the government come in and maybe I don't know, stop sending them funding, or maybe warn them at first and then maybe do something. But
do you think that the government doesn't want to get themselves involved in it because of the negativity surrounded around it? So if the people see that they have they have government resistance, they're going to be more likely to think negatively about the government, and they just don't want to fucking deal with that because of everything that's coming out of it, all the negativity, the destruction of careers, of professors' careers, all this microaggression stuff that are
destruction of property also.
For property,
the riots and stuff.
Also the the limitations of professors' ability to speak and to even have a conversation of substance with these people, because everything is construed as a microaggression, because it's a way of obviously limiting free speech. They don't want these guys to have a say in what goes on, or even get their opinion out there, because it kind of destroys the entire premise of what they're fighting for.
Well, yeah, they have no useful arguments, so they just turn to making loud noises and smashing stuff and making human barriers, preventing people from coming in because they know that they don't have any sound logical arguments.
Accusing professors of stuff that isn't based in reality, accusing other people of stuff that that is completely not based in reality. I don't want to talk about, of course, with any group of people, you can single out a couple people, or I know there's a lot and there's so many protests with this, but on a person-to-person level, they obviously have opinions that, like my sister, she is one of the main people for Spectrum, which is the transgender and LGBT community at Ball State, and the way she goes about it, she doesn't freak out about these things because she's not one of those people. Because there's always people that'll freak out. There are always people that will want to find something. So if it's not the LGBT thing, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. Everybody's going to when people are like that, when people want to find something to complain about or to victimize themselves, they're always going to find something, whether it's the LGBT thing or anything else. And I think a huge thing with the LGBT community in many college campuses is that, speaking from a cis white male's perspective, just from what I've heard from my sister, is I think a lot of people, not only LGBT, but a lot of other people also, but a main focus in LGBT is a lot of people are really, a lot of people that are involved in the LGBT community, transgenders, gay people, I think that a lot of them are very mentally unstable, damaged, and depressed and damaged. Thank you. Whether that's from a link from sexual abuse as a kid, or whether that's from just the denial and unacceptance of themselves, and from other people, that their family, their community, people that love them, people not accepting them. So my sister has had to deal with many people on many occasions. I remember one time she came home after like 2 weeks of being away. She usually comes home every other week or something. Mm-hmm. She came home. She said she had to take 3-4 people from that Spectrum community, from the transgender community, to the hospital to the emergency room because they were suicidal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you talk about that, there's not like the football team. There isn't 4 kids a week going to that, or the chess team. There isn't 4 kids going to the ER for suicide prevention. There is a link between this and emotionally damaged people.
Yeah, and that goes into the next topic that's in the news. That's Trump's statement banning all transgender people from any sort of role in the military.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't really realize, is that transgender people have a 45% suicide rate. And if you add that with also combat stress or just vets' suicide deaths, you're going to have well over half of transgender vets killing themselves.
I mean...
so that's something that's got to be kept in mind when you're looking at this issue.
But if you want to go into the army in the first place and you want to go into these war zones, you're probably a strong person. You're probably somebody who wants to do this. You're probably somebody who isn't extremely suicidal at that point, or very deep into a depression. Maybe you are. I can't talk for everybody, but
yeah.
I mean,
there are mental stuff that you have to pass.
Yeah.
So.
But at the same time, I feel like if you want to serve, you can serve. Like if you're literally limiting people's ability to die for this country, to die for you because you don't agree with their sexual preferences.
It's not like they don't agree. I think it's more. I think it's more on just a liability more than something that helps, because this is a military force, and especially when you have a country as big as ours, you need to be on top of your shit. And
yeah, it's almost as far as what reality is based on, as far as going to other countries and and putting transgender people in other countries, that's a sign of weakness to other people. It really is. Putting transgender people is a sign of weakness to other people.
Yeah, well, I saw
in most
something...
countries, they'll be beheaded if they're fucking transgender and they show it. So.
Yeah, I mean, if they get captured.
If they get captured.
But, I mean, it's not like they wouldn't get...
Well, it's not
anyway,
acceptable acceptable in those countries.
I know, but I saw something that said... it was like, I think 18 countries already allow transgender people in their militaries, and there's been no issues in those ones, but I don't think it's as widespread as it is in America, as it is,
So is this
I
only
think it is widespread in America compared to everywhere else as well.
Is this only if you have a full-blown dick?
No, this is, so...
If you identify.
It's just... I don't know. Hold on. He wasn't very specific, and I don't know if they've really released stuff afterwards.
The whole thing that... Because you make a good point.
I don't think you should make policy decisions on Twitter, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't, obviously, but... I mean, what the fuck is reality?
That's
We're
just
dealing
the time.
with it. Yeah. But, dude, what's Trump... What was his whole reasoning behind it? It was just that he didn't think they didn't have the mental capacity.
I don't know. It came out of nowhere.
It really did come out of nowhere, and there's a lot of backlash on it.
It's a lot of backlash, but I don't think it's going to change. I mean,
Joe Biden tweeted. You see that? Or
did he?
Yeah. Joe Biden tweeted about how he doesn't think that anybody should, or that if he was in charge, that, of course, I forget what the fuck it said, but no, that it would be the opposite way.
Okay, well, see you then, George.
Dude, I saw this.
Run for president in 2020.
I saw this tweet. I forget who retweeted it. But it was I don't know if she served in the military, so I could be bullshitting right now, but it was a transgender...
Navy SEAL.
Navy SEAL was at it, and she said, you can suck my... You can suck...
Or you're like, say it to my face or some shit like that.
No. This was another one, and she said that you can suck the Iraqi sand off my cock. To Donald Trump. Let me see if I could pull it up.
I can pull it up, maybe.
No, it's on Twitter. Hold up, I'll find it.
But there was a transgender Navy SEAL who came out, and she was like talking about it, but I'm like, I don't know really what your point is here, because when she was in the military, or when she was a Navy SEAL, she... Oh my god.
Seriously. Okay, it's Small Town Squirrel Edernalakari on Twitter. You had no idea this. Look at this profile picture. It's definitely a man. That was definitely a man at some point.
At one point.
And the tweet says, seriously, period. Trump can suck the Iraqi sand off my transgender veteran cock. That's fucking hilarious.
But most of those, but that's the thing. Most of them they were men, or identified as men when they served.
Yeah.
So, and if they were to serve right now in their current state, pumping estrogen into their system and all that shit, I really don't think they'd be at the top of their game compared to what they were when they were men.
I think that it has to do with whether it's just Trump trying to gain voter popularity or gain some sort of popularity or something else. The only baseline it could have, because men and women can serve. So a singular man and a singular woman that identifies as a woman, as a female, and a man that identifies as a male, that has always been a male, that has always had a penis, and a woman who has always had a vagina, they can both serve. So when you are dealing with transgender people, it's not really like the sex you're looking at. It's the action of the changing of the sexuality or the gender that you're looking at. You're not looking at the actual sexuality, because if you go to it, he's a man. If you just look at the motherfucker if you just look at the person as a man, he can serve. If you look at the person as a woman, she can serve. But you look at them as a transgender. They don't want to be identified as a I'm speaking for transgender people, but I don't think that people want to be identified as a fucking transgender. I think they want to be identified as the sexual preference they change to. So when you're dealing with that, I think the only basis behind it is that, it's the mental aspect. What you were talking about, how the 45% suicide rate and the and just the mental damage and duress and distress that most transgender people go through. And I'm sure that they will deal with a lot of that in the military because
even more.
you don't really see everything that goes on in the military, but I mean, if you're thinking about anything like locker room talk or like anything, like it's deeper than what you think it is. Harass. Just literally, yes.
Well,
harass.
it says here that there's about there could be from 1,300 transgender people to 16,000 members of the armed services might be transgender. So
is that?
Yeah, they're just gonna get fired after that.
Yeah, what does that mean? Can they still serve? Like, they serve the country.
Like,
they serve the country. They're heroes. They are heroes.
Yeah.
They're fucking heroes, and you're gonna take them out of their positions because of how they fucking identify? That's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
And he did it when James Mattis was on vacation, and Mattis a few weeks ago was in support of having transgender people in the military.
Mattis is
he's the head of the Pentagon. No. He's the fuck. I forget. Let me say.
So what's his name again?
James
Mattis.
James Mattis. Well, he was a general in the Iraq War for the Marines.
So on both sides,
he's the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he's the head of the Pentagon.
He's the head of the Pentagon, and he agreed.
He runs the military.
He went on vacation to fucking wherever the fuck he went to.
Somewhere.
And Donald Trump signed this bill into legislation.
He's probably pissed.
What was it? Was it an executive order? What? I don't know.
No, it's not an executive order. He just kind of tweeted it, and nothing's really happened. You know.
What did he tweet?
Dude, look. He said,
after
consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the United States military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgenders in the military would entail. Thank you.
So
that's another point.
It's the same cost.
Well, it's another point. No, it's not, because if you're in the military and then you get out, and then you're like, hey, I want to get my surgery, then the government's paying for that at that point.
But does insurance not?
You're going to the VA hospital.
But before, does insurance not pay for I don't think they pay for transgender surgery.
No, I doubt it. It's not necessity. It's not like a
open heart transplant.
Yeah, it's not really a life or death.
So they have to pay for the transgender operations even after the military. I don't know.
And that's our taxpayer money going there, so.
Well, I'd rather honestly.
I do not want to pay for someone's transgender surgery. I'm sorry.
I would. Okay, I don't care. I don't want to pay for somebody's transgender surgery, but if they served in the military, it's your fucking. It's you. They're a hero. I mean, they protected the country. They protected the way you live. No matter if they're transgender or not. I mean, I don't think that they're out for your pockets. I just think that they want to be who they are at their heart.
I know, but I think it's just when you're looking at costs and you're trying to cut down costs.
And cut down on the military-industrial complex, then, or like.
I mean, Donald Trump isn't really doing that, but he's not really cutting down on costs. But he wants to make stuff effective, and I guess he just wants to not have those liabilities.
Yeah, I think that the connotation of the American military is weak fucking Americans, and that have a lot of machinery. Because the connotation to Russians, the Russian military, is that they're just badass motherfuckers. They are. I mean, they trained in Soviet Russia under some crazy fucking KGB.
Yeah. Well, I mean, majority of when you think about the Russians, you think about like the best of the best, though. But like, you don't think about the ground soldier, like just the regular soldier. That's like a militia dude who like is forced to serve. He has no choice. They have conscripts in their military still. Yeah. So when you think about the Russians, it's like you think about the, Navy SEALs equivalent, but you don't really think. But from American military, it's very well-rounded.
I wonder what percentage of the Russians believe that transgenders have the mental capacity and the physical.
Dude, they're killing.
necessities. They're killing them.
They're killing gay people in Chechnya. So.
Like, there's no like.
Did
this
you
is
hear
the
what
only
that
country
dude said? Did you hear what that dude said?
What, dude?
Oh my gosh, dude! Let me show you this.
Okay, but before we talk about that, I want to talk about what the fuck video you just showed me. There is.
Oh gosh, the Ohio.
Yeah, just
State
take
Fair.
a little break on this. There's a video that he showed me. It's a 5-second video on YouTube. You can look it up. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's on the Ohio State Fair. This was the first thing I've ever seen. I used to look up like roller coaster crashes, but like I didn't expect to feel this deeply towards one of these things. If you look it up, what was it? The
Ohio State Fair.
Ohio State Fair crash.
Literally today.
It's one of those pendulum things that like swing back and forth that like you also like turn on, and apparently I don't know if it hit the ground or something, but like half of it
hit
fell
like
off.
a part of the fucking like the cage. Like it hit a part of. It looked like it like skimmed it and then it hit the ground or something. I don't
like
even know.
A quarter
it
of the
made a
people
loud
were flying.
noise, and then you see just people
just fly, and then you see a dude come falling from the sky just down. One person died. Another person had to get their leg amputated. 12 people.
No, they didn't get their leg amputated. They got their leg crushed.
Got both of their legs crushed.
Because you see that thing, it falls. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened, but
some bullshit ass state fair carnies smoking meth in the back.
Yes.
That's what the fuck happened.
And they assembled that thing, and it took them like fucking probably 6 hours.
I don't think that carnies should serve in the military.
No, I don't think.
Honestly,
no. Chechnya. Dude, they're having bad stuff go on in here.
Chechnya gay. Razman Kradov says there are no gay men in Chechnya, and if there are any, he should move to Canada.
Oh my god.
This dude looks like a fucking...
like a psychopath.
He looks like a psychopath, an inbred psychopath with that fucking combed down hair.
I forgot that had a touch screen on this thing.
An interview.
He says.
Oh my god! All right, let me just read this headline.
Yeah, read it out loud.
Okay, this is a headline from the Washington Post. I don't know who wrote it, but it's a picture of this guy in an interview. Chechnyan leader Razman Kadyrov denies reports that gay men are being detained and tortured in the Russian public. Not because such abuses would not be allowed, but because he thinks that there are no gay men in Chechnya.
He says this is nonsense.
Oh, that dude wants his dick sucked.
He says we don't have those kind of people here. We don't have any gays. If there are any, take them to Canada. He said praise to be God. He says take them far away from us so we don't have them at home. To purify our blood. If there are any here, take them.
So, this is a gay man.
No, I don't think so, dude.
No, not this guy. No, he's talking about gay men.
Yeah.
So, we think that if somebody finds, or they find out that transgender people, or they already probably know, that transgender people are serving in the United States military, they're willing to behead, kill, torture their own people, Chechnyan people, in public for even doing like this, I don't know, fucking suspecting that they're gay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you think they feel about transgender Americans serving in the biggest military ever? Do you think that they're like, oh, these fucking pussies? Or do you think that they're like, do you think that they're scared? Honestly, I would be scared. I honestly would be terrified because it's not people, it's drones.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the people at this point.
Hold on, I'm just trying to get some more stuff right here. About the crackdown in Chechnya.
Mm.
And it's not really being reported on. I don't think it is too much.
Not
a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know.
I think that all around the world, there's a lot of people who would beat the fuck out of.
And you know what? This is really not ironic, but it's surprising. Is that Chechnya is majority Islamic, so it's not like these people are, it's not like Christian or anything. They're Islamic, and they absolutely hate gay people. Well, I mean, obviously they hate gay people. They throw gay people off of goddamn skyscrapers in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, the whole everywhere over there. That's a huge thing. Is that
Dude,
I know it's overspoken a lot, but what?
I said they hate gay people there.
I know it's over. Yeah, I know it's overspoken a lot, but right in America right now, it's the best time for a gay person to live. It's the best time for anybody to live, because when you think about human rights, you think about gay rights or they have no rights. There are no rights. There are no rights. You will be killed if you're openly gay. You will be murdered, and I mean, he might for a publication he's going to say, oh, but he's not going to admit to murdering people in public.
It began in February 2017 after a Chechen man who had drug-related offense was stopped by police. So they discovered the contact information for other gay men on his phone, and then so after that, a bunch of like gay pride events were like shut down, and then.
So what did the cops do to the dude? I'm sure they probably murdered him. Like if it's on this website.
Well, he's probably at one of the concentration camps that they talk about here. They say homosexuals are sent to clandestine camps in Chechnya, which one eyewitness likened to a concentration camp. About 100 men have been imprisoned, at least 3 people have already died. Some of the guards in these allegedly unofficial jails are accused of releasing the prisoners to their relatives if their relatives promise to kill them. One location of a secret prison is allegedly in the southern city of Argun, another prison located in Tatsan Yurt, south of the Chechen capital Grozny. So, so they probably moved them.
What do you think their reasoning is? What do you think? What do you think is
purifying the blood?
Purify the blood. Purify. What's the reasoning behind purifying the fucking blood?
Because they're Islamic and they're
extremists.
They're extremists. They hate it.
I know, but like it's everybody. Like you can't. Like maybe they're extremists, but like there has to be some sort of mental programming where it's like gone down the line for 500, 600 years just to hate gay people. Because what percentage of people believe in gay rights in Saudi Arabia? It's 0%. It's like 1%. It's like 98%.
Yeah.
Believe that gays should not have any rights in Saudi Arabia, and in Chechnya they're murdering people. So what do you think is embedded into their fucking DNA that makes them automatically predisposed to hate homosexual beings?
I mean, I don't know. It's easy to find scapegoats. You just be like, like what Nazis did to Jews. They're like, oh well, this group of people did it, so something happened and they have no way to explain it. They just like, oh, well, blame it on the Jews or blame it on the gays.
But yeah,
people are different. They just don't like that.
Yeah, it's just 500 years of conditioning to blame things on gays. I guess that's what it is.
And Jews.
Gays, Jews.
I'm sure these people are not friends of Jewish people at all. They're Chechens. Chechens fight in so many, you see a lot of Chechens in Syria and fighting for ISIS.
Yeah, a huge thing what Hitler did to be able to detain Jews and be able to start putting them in concentration camps was false flag attacks. He blew up a Capitol building and said it was
burnt the Parliament.
Yeah.
The Reichstag down. Yeah.
Yeah, and said it was.
And then the night of broken glass happened. A bunch of not gay people, but Jews were killed and stuff like that.
So what do you think the gays have done over there? What do you think that they have done? What do you like? Because as a normal person, you and me, I can't imagine having such a closed mind to everything and to go along with the system so unquestioningly and so easily influenced and so easily persuaded by obviously evil human beings.
Yeah.
That is it just mind control, or is people are just that easily influenced and changed? Or like, what is it? Like how do you have it embedded in your mind? Is it just evolution and they just have it embedded in the mind to hate people that are different than them? Or is it because they're just fucking insecure? Or
That's also it.
And like they're just like, it's like
or
the
they're
bad
gay
thing
themselves.
to do. Yeah, they're gay themselves, and it's a thing that you can't do. It's a thing that you can't do.
Yeah, it's how many freaking people have come out, like, these, I don't think it's as widespread as people say it is, but there's, the few congressmen that are, like, anti-gay, and then stuff comes out where they have, like, gay conversations on their phone, or...
Yeah.
It's weird stuff like that.
Yeah, it's always the people who are... It's not always, but, I mean, it's a lot of the time, it's the guys who are in the closet who want to suck a dick, who fucking go to a prostitute. It's usually the guys who have a family, who have these values, have go to church every weekend, follow the specific doctrine, follow the specific lifestyle, want to have a family, want to be a righteous person. But then you realize, like, damn, like, I don't, like, you haven't accepted who you are. You don't know who you are, because your whole identity is tied in with this whole being of that you need to follow this doctrine, and you need to believe everything, or not believe everything, but you are you're pretty much controlled by the doctrine. I don't know where I was going with that, and I had something good, but I don't know, man.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think that it's just a bunch of really fucking gay people who are in denial that they're gay, so they want to kill other gay people?
Oh, I think there's a lot of gay people or not gay people, but pedophiles also. But people that go into the church trying to prey on little boys.
Pray the gay away? Or no, not
no, they don't. No. They just they want to be in that. They know that being in that position, you're close to a lot of little boys. So it's creepy, because it's not creepy, but it's hypocritical, because it's a fucking church.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people in power that
thousands of years it's been going on.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Even with that, there's many cases of like that, and the emotional, obviously.
What do you think about Sargon?
And the emotion, Sargon, and the emotional, like the fucked up wiring that a human being has that does that, and the emotional damage that they've done, that they had as a kid. Because I think that, I don't know, I'm not thinking, but I feel like a lot of people who had really shitty childhoods, like, just take Michael fucking Jackson for example.
Oh, yeah.
People who weren't allowed to live their childhoods, people who weren't allowed to express themselves as a kid, whether through abuse, whether through emotional damage, emotional duress, or their parents just did not let them live a childhood. They, in some sort of fucked up, sick way, they want to relive that childhood through another person, through another child. So, I guess when Alex Jones is talking about interdimensional child molesters, he might be right. He might be right.
He might be.
Who knows, dude? But of course, there's huge rings all over the world for that fucking.
I mean, they're constantly breaking up rings everywhere. It's crazy.
Everywhere.
How rampant it is.
Everywhere. John Podesta.
I mean, maybe.
Anthony Weiner. Sending sexually explicit messages.
Definitely. He's definitely a creep.
Well, no, he got caught sending sexually explicit messages to an underage kid.
It was like a 16-year-old or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And
if you're 18 years old and you're like 17 years old.
His wife was the Hillary Clinton's campaign manager.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Crazy.
I think that, when you talk about this stuff, that it's so hard to talk about, and because it's just like such a touchy subject, number one. But number two, if she knew about it, or like he knew about it, like, I feel like a lot of people.
Oh, he definitely knew about it.
Yeah, no, he
was
knew,
committing it.
Yeah, he was committing the atrocities, but I don't think. I feel like those people they I don't know, dude. They feel they don't tell anybody. Who like that's such a sick thing to have and such a deep, dark thing that like even your wife probably doesn't know.
No.
Even your wife doesn't know.
Yeah, I know. You learn a lot about it by watching To Catch a Predator. Just these people, all sorts of people. A freaking dude, a guy who is a rabbi for a synagogue was there.
Yeah.
They caught him. They got a dude who was working at freaking Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
He's working at Nickelodeon, working for SpongeBob.
Yes, dude. So, I heard this, I don't know, it was a podcast. But I forget who said it. The main reason that people, even like wives, don't acknowledge the fact that somebody they know or like their husband is a sexual predator and stuff like that, or like kids who are involved in a sexually abusive household from a young age, that even though they are an acknowledgement of it, like themselves internally, to externally acknowledge the fact that that is going on in your family is to completely destroy that family.
Yeah.
And people are so set in their family that it's just that it's the life destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and when you go into that, it's just nothing but depression. And after that,
I mean, you're gonna be on news.
Yeah. And that's like
if you stay with your husband, he's gonna have to go around to all the neighbors, knock on the door. Yeah. He's gonna have to tell everybody that he's just sex predator.
And in the same way, it's the same way with the Catholic Church. Because to acknowledge the fact that that was going on for 100 years is to completely destroy the Catholic Church because if anybody committed those atrocities that wasn't a fucking priest, that wasn't a pretend holy person, that didn't have the divine knowledge from an extraterrestrial being, God, that it would be shut down immediately. It would be shut down immediately if they had that many cases and that many all over the world, all over the world. All over the world. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Well, Alex Jones apparently says that Pope Francis is going to step down in August, and a new guy is going to come in. So
why?
I guess we'll see.
Why?
Because
he rides that badass motherfucker mobile though, in the back of that non-fish tank where he can't non-bulletproof thing where he can get shot.
I know.
Yeah, I forget. Somebody said it, but. He said, yeah, was it?
It was Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that he doesn't have much, or like I forget what he said.
Well, he got his less security and stuff.
Well, no, that
he still has huge walls.
Yeah, he does have huge walls. That he's like old enough that it doesn't really matter at this age.
Tells people that he's like, oh, borders should not separate us, but he has these huge ass fucking walls protecting his compound. Yeah. I'm like, all right, how about you let the goddamn refugees in your goddamn house?
What a great idea to put a progressive. To put a progressive pope in the
I mean, it was a great idea, honestly.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea because you still have it's outdated. Oh my god. Like people are starting to realize Catholicism, Christianity, Islamism, like all these Judaism. All of these books, they're just written they're written so long ago that to apply that to today's society is so backwards and so messed up that if you're still following a doctrine, it's kind of like you're like outdated, like you're an outdated human being as far as like today's culture and like our age and our groups of people. Because if you see an old lady you see those people who are die-hard Christians, die-hard Catholics
and shit, in the cities,
it's people are starting to realize that it's outdated. But wait, you have a progressive priest that comes in and says, I believe in gay rights. I believe in the, when you have that, you have the support of the people. Back. Yeah, you get the people back. It's such an easy manipulative move that they have no basis in believing because they don't believe it. They're just saying it to continually have power and continue that power structure that they have.
Yeah, well, they just want to spread their influence.
Spread their influence and continue their
live influence. On the bloodline of.
And yeah,
the church.
Yeah, continually put hats on their heads, dressed like gods, sitting in a circle, fucking. But really, they're still fucking doing the same shit that they do. I'm sorry I'm cussing so much, man.
They've been doing for thousands of years.
Thousands.
All right.
And it's still going on.
Should we wrap it up?
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
All right.
That was a good podcast.
Yeah, it was great.
That was
it was a good little mailbag thing.
Mailbag. We got
a little headline.
Little headline.
Headline bag.
All right, guys. We'll see you
We'll
whenever
catch you later,
we make
guys.
one next.
Yep. See you guys.